Hi, guys. See, I was starting to look at all your comments. See, some of you are on here already. Oh, hi, Christy. Glad you could make it tonight. Hi, Lorraine. Glad you're here too. And Rebecca Schlossnagel. Glad you're here. And Marva. Rebecca, I bet you're related to Becky. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized Rebecca and Becky, same person. I'm used to you being on Facebook and it says Becky. That's what threw me. Hi, Marva. Glad you're here from Northeastern New York. Hi, Anne. Glad you can make it live. And Becky, hi. And thanks for sharing again, Becky. You do that, like it and share it every week. I appreciate that a lot. Uh, let's see. Oh, hi, Karen. Glad you could make it again this week. Oh, good. I'm glad you got your sparkle gems. I always love those. I think I'm giving those away again here tonight, too. But you're welcome. I'm glad you liked them. Okay. Oh, hi, Lola from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay. Oh, thanks for sharing, Karen. I just saw you pop that up. Well, we have started a new mini. I always love it when we start a new catalog. I was having fun with the annual catalog, but now I can start having fun with the new, for short, I'll call it the Holiday Mini. The official name is September to December mini catalog. But if you hear me say Holiday Mini, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, hi, Michelle. Glad you're here. Hello. Oh, let's see who else. Oh, hi, Laura from South Carolina. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Marilyn, I missed your name for a second. From Nebraska. Glad you're here too. Okay, glad you could make it live. A lot of times you have to watch the replay, don't you? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got a few people on here now. Like I was saying, I'm featuring the new mini today. I'm going to be using the More Than Autumn. So if you like warm drinks, you're going to love this one. And it is definitely more than autumn. I've got two cards that are fall, more for fall cards. The middle one can be Christmas slash winter, I guess. I've used kind of like red, I had to have red in it, so it could definitely pass, but it's more for hot cocoa. It's actually for people who love hot cocoa. So I'm going to also, there's always that debate in the fall, people that love pumpkin and people that love apple. Well, I love both, but I'm definitely more of a pumpkin lover. I love pumpkin, so I'm excited about that. But to make the two sides happy, the first card's going to be for the pumpkin lovers. The last card's going to be for the apple lovers. So I think you're going to like them. Oh, hi, Beth. Glad you came. Hi, Jamie. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see if what I'm. Oh, and one thing I've added to, I don't think, I think I have it on the learn more button. Okay, let me go over the links real quick because this is something I always seem to forget to tell you right at the beginning. That's easier to tell you at the beginning. If you're watching on YouTube, because I am, for those of you that are new to my lives, I go live on YouTube and Facebook at the exact same time. So if you're watching on Facebook and any links that I mention, click that learn more button you see at the top of the page. And to find out about the card class at home information, click on the one that says get free stuff when you order from me. That's when you want to click on, and that'll tell you what I'm offering currently, which right now until September 11th, I'm featuring the More Than Autumn card class at home card kit. So you can find out more about that in here in just a minute. Those of you watching on YouTube, all of the links are down below in the video description. It's easy to find the video description on laptop. Sometimes it's harder if you're watching on the TV or the phone. So I hope you can figure that out on the description. It's usually right below the video, or you might have to click on a little something like more or something. I'm not positive. I'll have to check that out and figure that out for you in case you have been having trouble finding that. And if anybody is having trouble finding that, let me know, and then I'll try to figure it out and give you the answer next week. Okay, now went over that. Oh yeah, I was getting ready to say, I can't remember if I put it under the learn more button, but I do know it's under the YouTube video. I've got a link to my catalog page. And on that catalog page, you'll find the link to all the digital versions of the 3 catalogs that are available now. And yes, we do have 3. We've got our annual catalog, of course, the holiday mini that I've been talking about. We've also got that new scrapbooking brochure that just came out that has a bunch of holiday products in it too. And that's also there. Now there are paper versions, regular catalogs you hold in your hand for the annual and the holiday mini, but the scrapbooking brochure is only digital form just because since close to my heart makers have come over to Stampin' Up. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them signed up when Close to My Heart closed. We've got a new scrapbooking line. They came up with it really, really quick, but they didn't have time to come out with any paper catalogs. So it takes a couple of years to get that done. But there is that digital form, and you can find that on that catalog page. Okay. Oh, Crystal, you love this set. I do too. I couldn't wait to use it. That's why I thought, okay, I got to start making the fall projects now because pretty soon we will be probably focusing more on Christmas. Let's see. I know I saw some. Oh, hi, Marva. Yeah, anything pumpkin. Me too. I love it. Okay, so you're going to definitely love the first card. So let's go ahead and do the door prizes. For those of you that are new, let me get this up here. Right now you're seeing the ticker that talks about the class. I'll talk about that in a minute. And there's the host code that's going on this week. It is different from last week. I always have my host code last for at least 2 weeks, and that I had to start a new one this week. Oh, there we go. So if you live in the United States and want to be part of my door prize drawing, then you need to comment hashtag door prize. You're going to see that some people have already done that already because they come on almost every week, so they know the drill. But you need to type it in just like you see there on the screen. Do the hashtag, all small letters, one word, no spaces in any of it, because the program in my live site that I use is the one that picks the raffle winner at the end of the video for the live. So make sure you get it typed in just right because it's only going to recognize if it's typed in just right, which I just realized I forgot to set that up, but I can do that here in a little bit. No big deal. Now, if you're watching the replay, still do the hashtag door prize if you live in the United States and want to be in the drawing, just so I know you want to be in the drawing. Then, but it doesn't have to be exact because my eyes are going to be seeing it. I'm the one putting it in the prize wheel, which you're going to see here in just a minute for last week. So, but if you're watching live, make sure you get it typed in just right. Oh, hi, Denise from Colorado. Glad you got to come. I know you've been here before. I recognize your name. Okay. Oh, hi, Laura. Glad you're back. Okay, I think I've said hi to everybody. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody. I do read comments as good as I can, especially when I start making cards. I know I'm going to miss some. So if you have any questions, please still comment. If I don't see it during the video, do kind of watch out because some of these ladies have been watching long enough. They kind of know the answers and they'll type in the comments what the answer is. So you can see that. Oh, my auto scroll quit. Let me get that going again. Hi, Jean. Glad you got to make it. Oh, hi, Debbie. Got back? Are you back from the lake yet? I saw that you were up at the lake. Looked like you were having fun. Okay. Hi, Sheila. Glad you're here too. Okay, I'm going to start with the door prize. I'm going to go ahead. This was what the door prize was last week. So everybody that watched the replay, and let me take the ticker down again. I always mean to do that and forget. These are the Adhesive-Backed Pearl Trio. Came out in the annual catalog. And this is for everybody that did the hashtag door prize during the replay and the live last week. Oh, Sharon, you're on pumpkin spice team too. Good. There's just something about pumpkin. I've always loved pumpkin. Hi, Barb. Oh, you're new. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Hopefully, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, or the class, I should say, because this is definitely live. So I'm going to go ahead and do this drawing. So let me pull up the screen here for you. Get my post-it notes ready. I always forget to get those out. Okay, now I'm ready. Drum roll. Who's going to win? I always have to wait till it stops because there's times I think I know the winner and then it keeps moving on me. Ooh, Peggy. I have your address. I'm not positive. Can't remember. If you have one from me before, that I probably do have it. If I don't, please message me. If you're watching on Facebook, just message me directly from my page. Give me your mailing address. If you're watching on YouTube, click that contact me link down in the video description. Get this on here. And while I'm at it, I added a new caption here because I've got one lady. I'm not sure if she's on here. I haven't seen her name pop up yet. Or what? April Rascon, I think is your last name. And you said you're going to send me your address because you had one a couple weeks ago and I never did receive it. So you still have time. I still left your name on there because I knew you really wanted to get it. It could be you couldn't find it in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. So there is my direct email. I don't put it in the description because somehow I don't understand it, but sometimes hackers can get it. I thought putting on the screen would probably be safe. So it's Christy Falk at createwithchristy.com. So if you need to email me, that's my direct email. That contact me link goes straight to my email also. I wanted to put that on there just in case you have trouble finding that contact me link in there. Okay, we'll go back to this since we're still talking about the door prize. So those of you that just came on, make sure you do that hashtag door prize and you'll be in. Let me show you those real quick. I need to move that. And it's always easier to show it on this screen. There's always a glare if I do it on this one. So let's go down here again. And yep, I did pick the sparkle. I had one more pack of these sparkle gems. These are so pretty. I love them. And they're the Adhesive-Backed Sparkle Gems. It's champagne black and white. I think of them more as clear, but they are so pretty. I wish you could see how pretty they sparkle. But this is going to be for everybody that's watching the live here tonight that does the hashtag door prize. So if you've already done that, you are set. Don't worry about doing it anymore. You're in the drawing. If you're watching the replay and still those of you watching the live, these are the, forgot the name, Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. You can tell there's some that are lighter. There are two different sizes. The small ones are up here. These are the larger ones. So this would be the Smoky Slate and that would be the Basic Grays. The Basic Grays, the darker one. These are so neat. And I think with these, you could even, especially the light ones, you could probably take Stampin' Blends. I haven't done this before and change the color up a little bit too. I'm sure you can do that. A lot of times I'll do that with clear and white ones, but I think it would still work with a silver. It may not be the exact color, but it'll have like a silvery effect to it. I bet it would look really cool. So this is for everybody that does the hashtag door prize that lives in the United States. And you'll get in the drawing for the replay and the live. And then this is the one for those of you watching the live. So this one I will do the winner. I'll do the drawing next week in the live. This one is going to happen at the end of the live, so make sure you stay till the end so that we can get in and find out who won with those. Okay, we are done with the door prize. Oh yes, Marilyn. I'm going to put that one up on the screen. I love that. Fall is for pumpkin, blizzards, and pumpkin lattes. I totally agree. Those are my two favorites too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, put the ticker back on there. I think we can get rid of the door prize now because we've done that enough. I'll put this back up. Now I'm going to talk about the class. Like I said, I could not wait to do this class. I think I say this every week, but Stampin' Up! Just keeps coming out with bundles that are fun. This one has so many stamps in it, and you'll see that here in just a minute. But if you place a $40 order before shipping and tax, you will get, using that host code. You see, you do have to use the host code in order to get these card kits free. So there are 3 packs. As you can see, I do all the embossing for you, and any die cutting that's done with a die set that's not part of the bundle. So you can see I use the stylish shapes dies again. I use those all the time. I don't know what I'm going to do when those go away. I love them. But so I did the die cutting for those and all the embossing. But you get enough to make 2 each of the cards I'm going to make here tonight. So that's with a $40 order before shipping and tax using the host code. If you bump it up to a $50 order before shipping and tax and using the host code, then you'll also get a full pack of the Adhesive-Backed Swirl Dots. Now here, I can go ahead and open these because this is my pack. My full packs come in my order tomorrow, so they will be here in plenty of time. I just didn't have a full pack on me right now. But you can definitely see the swirls in these. They say these are white. I think they look more cream. And then when you see me put them on the last card, when they're on the basic beige color, they almost have the basic beige color more, I think. But then these are petal pink, and these are pecan pie. And I'm going to use every single color. So, but if you do that $50 order before shipping and tax with the host code, you'll get the full pack. So you get all of this. Now, if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax, do not use that host code. You will still get all of this for free, but you'll also get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. So I don't want you to miss out on that. Now, the reason you have to use the host code on orders under $150 before shipping and tax, that is how I can get Stampin' Rewards, so I can get this stuff to give away to you guys. So what I do, the Stampin' Rewards that I earn with all your orders using the host code, I get the embellishments that I can give away to you, and sometimes some of the cardstock for the card kits. That if I didn't use the host code, I wouldn't be able to give away so much. So this makes it so I can give it away to you guys, use those Stampin' Rewards for you guys. So some of you have probably wondered why you have to use the host code, and that's why. Okay, so get these out of the way. Oh, hi, Mimi. I'm glad you got to come again this week from Kansas. I'm going to go ahead and show you the bundle. I've been talking about it. Now I got to show it to you. Now you can see why I said this is so much fun. Look at all these stamps. There may not be a ton of images. Actually, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12. That's still a pretty good number. They're a little smaller. This is also at 95. Well, they're almost full size or 95% size. But look at all of these words, sentiments. It's a really, really neat set. And it's definitely more than autumn. It's a perfect name for it. And then here are all the dies. And I love that there are also dies for words. And I love the script. It's a lot of fun. Now, I did not use these two, but they fit perfectly. This one says coffee and this one says latte. And it curves just right to go on that little band on the cup. Now, I decided to use images and another word set for mine, but because I was going for pumpkin latte, hot cocoa, and apple cider. So I didn't, but these would be really good for the coffee and for a regular latte. So it's a lot of fun. You can tell I've got dies to die cut all of these images. The only one you can't are the sprinkles, and you wouldn't want to anyway. Those you just stamp. And I didn't use those. I could have definitely done that with my pumpkin spice latte because I've seen sprinkles on that before. But normally they don't, but that would be a neat thing to be able to put on that whipped cream. And there's a neat thing with this whipped cream too, and I'll show you that here on the second card. But if you purchase the bundle, together it's $47.50. and that saves you 10% off for buying these separately. If you buy it separately, the stamp set is $25 and the die set is $28. So you do save some money when you bundle them together and use that bundle number. Oh, hi, Melissa. Glad you got to make it tonight, too. Okay, so there is the cute bundle I'm using. And I do want to show you real quick, because I'm going to be using this on the first card, the sketched plaid. This is in the annual catalog. It's in a small picture, though, so if you want to see a better picture, you'll want to go to my online store. Just click on the online store link and search for sketched plaid, and it'll pop up for you, and you can see it. Well, you can see it here, too, but there it is. It's for $20. It's a nice big stamp, and you'll see it here in just a minute. So I kind of made my own DSP. I'm not featuring one designer series pack. That's what DSP means. This class, the first one I made my own with that plaid stamp, and I picked out 2 other ones for the last 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first one. I mean, this is for my pumpkin lovers out there, and I know there are a few of you there because you told me already. This is the team I'm on, Team Pumpkin. Are there any Team Apples out there? I'm sure there are. And you'll get this. I've got a card for you guys at the end too. Now I really like this brown. I'm going to get rid of this sticker quick. I love this pecan pie color. It is so pretty. And I'm going to go ahead and, this is regular 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock for the card base. I'm going to line those corners up. Use my bone folder. And that is ready to go. This I embossed with the distressed tile. So this is the size it is. It's a 3D folder. So this is 4 by 5.25 inch piece, and this is basic beige. While I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and prep it because I did something. I didn't want it to just be plain. I want to have more of a distressed look for fall. So I'm going to use basic beige. I knew I would like this basic beige color, but I love it now. Oh, Laura says she's an apple. I knew there'd be some apple people out there. So I'm going to pick up some basic beige on my blending brush. I'm going to go off of here a little bit and just lightly, and it's okay if I have blotches because I'm going for that distressed look. But I'm just kind of putting it on the edges mainly. Kind of going a little wider here on the corners. It's just kind of, and it also shows that embossing a little better too. But I'm just going to leave the middle clear. But there you go. I'm going to go ahead. I know I got a little bit of ink on here, not much. But I don't want to get it on something else. Let's clean that off. Oh, and Debbie Miller's, she says she's Team Apple too. I knew this would be fun. Okay, go let that dry out. So I'm featuring both teams, and hot cocoa. I think we all love hot cocoa. I'm sure there's some people don't like hot cocoa, but most people do. So that's the neutral one. Now, if you get the card packs, you're going to see 2 pieces of basic beige. Right now, I want the smaller one. This one is I can't remember the size, 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. This is the one I'm going to use the plaid background stamp. So this is how big it is. We do have a block for it. It just fits, as you can see. But whenever I use a big background, I turn it upside down so we see the rubber stamp here on top. I'm going to take my basic beige and put it all over it. You could also take your brayer and brayer all over it too. I tend to do that more when it's more of a detailed background. But with this one, it's just lines. So I think it looks fine if I just put the ink pad directly on there. So take that smaller 5 1/4 or 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. I want to lay it down kind of straight. And grab my little grid paper here, put this on top. I could use my brayer, but I think I'm just going to use my hands. So I'll show you another way. So you don't have a brayer, you can just take your fingers. I would still put paper over it like I am now. So that way, because I'm rubbing, making sure I'm going off of the paper, and that way I don't get ink on my fingers. I'd rather it got on this paper like it did here. So I'm going to take this off nice and easy because I don't want to smear it. And now I've got a nice little background here. Put this to the side. I'm all done with that. So now it gives me a little more room, not having that big stamp over here. Now, I could just leave it like this. I wanted to add some color to it. So I'm going to take, I'm going to bring this back in. I am going to take, oh, Christine says she's Team Pumpkin everything. Me too. Oh, I'm glad you like that, Sheila. It's a really neat stamp. I like it a lot. So I'm going to take my dark pumpkin pie. I was going to do part of this ahead of time, but I wanted you to see how I stamped that. So hopefully this won't take too long to color in. I decided to do this far left one right here in this grouping. So I guess it's actually, you can see there's like a group of 4 and group of 4. I'm doing the first one of the group of 4. And it's okay if you go outside the lines a little bit, because you can tell this plaid, the lines are not all the same. They're not perfect. They're a little wavy in places. So it's okay. It goes with the look if you don't stay in the colors. Now, I am not going to color all of these. Don't worry. That would take forever. I'm just going to color this one in. The long ones take the longest. I'm using light touch because these are Stampin' Blends. That way I don't fray that end. Now, this is the first one in this group. Actually, I think I'm going to go over. I don't want it to be right on the edge. I'm going to do this one instead. It doesn't matter. I think it's going to look a little better if I don't have it right on the edge. So you can just put it in whichever ones you want to. You can do more than 2 long lines. But this is all I did. And I am using brush strokes. I'm not going back and forth. And I'm not going to worry about shading or anything like that. I just decided to use just the dark pumpkin pie. Okay, now I'm going to use one of these middle ones here across here, probably like the 3rd one down. And do this one. Here's another grouping. There's the 3rd one down. And the 3rd one down on this one. Short ones go a lot quicker. And the 3rd one down here. That's the last of these. There, so that added a little color to my plaid. Oh, hi, Patty. Glad you could make it. And this is just the first card, so you're good. This is really the main thing I've done so far. So I just thought that looked cool, adding a little color to that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this. There is a piece of pecan pie in here. This is 2 by 5 1/4. I'm going to turn this over and put some adhesive on it. Oops. And you see, I don't cover this. You don't need to. That would also make it so you had to buy adhesive all the time. I just kind of put it across these short ends and a couple of strips on each of the long sides. And that is plenty to hold it on. I'm going to center it left and right. There we go. So I've made my own designer series paper and put a mat on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. Go ahead and put some of this together now. And then there's some stamping to do, of course, and some die cutting. More stamping, that is. I'm going to put this along the left edge, but I'm going to still have some of that embossed piece show on the left side. Okay. And I do, yep, there is some hanging over. Whenever a lot of times when you emboss pieces, it shrinks just a little bit. So that's probably why this one's just a little bit too long. So I've got my scissors right up against this base layer, and that helps me cut it straight. Okay. I'm not putting any ribbon on this. I'm going to put this on the card base. And this will just go right here on my pecan pie card. And now I'm going to do some stamping. Let me grab, this is a photopolymer stamp set. So, oh, there it is. I'm trying to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. You always want to have some cushioning as a base. Because if you look at these photopolymer stamps, let me find one. Oh, there's the cup. There's no padding. If you look at the big, here, let me grab this one with our cling, there is some padding in between the stamp and the block. There isn't with the photopolymer because they need to keep it clear so we can see through it. So it does help to have this cushioning. I'm going to take early espresso. I'm going to be coloring, with Stampin' Blends. And normally you would use our Tuxedo Black Memento, but all of our classic ink pads work with the blends also because they're water-based, and the Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based. If they were both water-based, then they would probably smear, but since they're water-based and alcohol, they don't mix together, so that works good. So there's the cup. To make it look like a pumpkin latte, I'm going to grab the little pumpkin. I don't know why I closed the early espresso. I still need that. And I'm going to stamp that in the middle of the cup. If you want some dimension, you could stamp it over here and die cut it because there is a die for it, but I just decided to stamp it directly on the cup. Then I need the pumpkin pie. So get that slice of pumpkin pie right here. And I do believe that is all I do on this. Yes, that's all I do on this piece. This is enough this is actually a piece that is 6.5 by 2. So as you can see, since the kit gives you enough to make 2 cards, you can stamp these again for your second card. That's why it's extra long. If you're making 1 card on your own, a 3.25 by 2 inch piece works just fine. Okay, what else do I want to do here? I'm going to grab this long piece. This is a 5.5 by 1 3/4 inch piece. This is going to be enough for both cards also. What I need is, where did it go? Oh, there it is. That's right. I'm going to use my basic beige. I'm going to stamp the big whipped cream here. I'm doing it near the bottom. You'll understand why here in a minute. Then I'm going to grab, actually, just do this again. I'm going to turn it upside down, though. I only need part of this whipped cream. So I'll put that one there. Then I'm going to grab my early espresso one more time. Well, I shouldn't say one more time. I still need it for the greeting. This one is a straw. Oh, hi, Beverly. Glad you could hear. I love this stamp set, too. It is so cute. So I'm taking my early espresso, and I'm stamping the straw right there. And that's the only thing I need to color on this piece. I'm going to grab the, I think I'll do the dark pumpkin pie again. And I'm just going to do every other stripe. There we go. So that is all colored in. I'm going to bring this back in and do some coloring. Step out of the way. Don't really need that either. I'm going to bring this back in again. For the pumpkin pie, I'm going to use pumpkin pie Stampin' Blends. Get these scissors out of the way for a second. I'm going to start with my dark. And on the pumpkin here, where those lines are, with the pumpkin, that's always where it's, kind of like a valley. I can't think of the word, but a lot of times that part is a little bit darker. So I'm going to use the dark pumpkin pie there. And then I will color the rest of it in with a light. And yes, you can use Stampin' Blends on the basic beige. It does mute the colors a little bit, but it looks just like I wanted it to for my card. Now I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie again. I'm kind of making lines. I don't want to just go straight across. I'm making little short lines here at the top of it and a little bit right here along this edge. Maybe a little bit right there too. Okay. So there's the dark pumpkin pie. Then I'm going to take the light pumpkin pie. Still using the light touch. It doesn't take much. You don't have to scrub or anything. I'm doing little brush strokes. I'm going to color the whole thing in right now. And you can tell that the dark pumpkin pie is way too dark right now. Oh, hi, Deidre. Just saw you. And Barb, glad you're here too. Just saw your hashtag door prizes. And Beverly, I don't know if I did say hi to you. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to go over where the dark and the light meet. Actually, I think I'll color the whole thing because I kind of want that light pumpkin pie to be a little more orangey. It's a lot lighter than the dark. Now I'm going over the dark again just a little bit. It helps blend it together. That looks a lot better. So there is the 2 pumpkin pies colors that I'm using. Now, this is optional. I'm using peach pie for the cup. It's a little bit lighter than the pumpkin pie, but it's really close. So if you don't have the peach pie, you could still do this with the pumpkin pie. But I'm going to use the dark pumpkin pie. I'm going to have this side of it be just a little bit darker. I'm intentionally making some of the lines a little bit longer. Then I'm going to do it here. I think I'll go over it a little bit more. Sometimes it helps to put a couple layers on it. And then I will take the light peach pie and color in the rest of the cup. As you can see, it does not take long to color any of these in. A lot of times I will color things ahead of time so you don't have to sit here and watch me. But it doesn't take long at all. And then I'm going over the dark and going a little bit more on the light, but not all the way to the edge. And that kind of gives me like a 3 tone effect instead of just the 2. Dark's a little bit too dark. There we go. Not quite done. I could just leave it that basic beige, but I kind of wanted it to look a little different than the background of the card. So I'm going to grab my crumb cake. Once again, start with the dark. And since I made this side a little darker, I'm going to make this side darker too, the same side. I'm going to do this a little jagged like I did before. And then I'll take the dark crumb cake, color in the rest of it, go around the pumpkin. The nice thing with our blends too, you don't get those lines that you get with our Stampin' Right markers. With regular markers, you always get those marker lines. And you don't get that with the blends. Get this all colored in. So I'll just color it all in real quick and then I start blending. I'm going over that dark just a little bit again, so it's not too dark and it gradually changes. And sometimes you need to let it dry for a little bit, and then you can tell it if you need to do it some more. That should be plenty. Now I tried crumb cake on this, on the crust, it just didn't look right. So I grabbed the pecan pie. The little places where they've got lines here, I'm going to take my dark pecan pie and just color those lines a little bit with the dark. And then color in the rest of the crust with a light pecan pie. Make sure I picked, yep, I did. When I first started, I thought, uh-oh, I picked the wrong one, but it's the right one. Use very light touch here on this thin area, because this tip is very, very sharp. So if you use that light touch, you can get in there a lot easier on those narrow sections. Okay, the pumpkin pie is done. I do believe, yes, that is all of the coloring I need to do with this one. Get these out of the way. Now, before I'm going to get all the stamping done, though, before I get the die cutting machine out. Oops. I need this little piece. The little sentiment went underneath my glass mat. So this one is for die cutting, so I don't need that yet. I'm going to grab this again. Oh, Deidre, you can't decide if you need this set or not. Maybe I'll talk you into it by the end of the video. I love it. Oh, hi, Patty Joe. Glad you got to make it. Oh, Patty, you said you got this, but you haven't used it yet. I think you're going to like it when you start playing with it. Yes, Marilyn, she definitely does, doesn't she? Okay, this is for the inside of the card, 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to grab that little pumpkin. I need to clean it off because I just stamped it with the early espresso. This time I'm going to stamp it with pumpkin pie. I could have done it with the brown, but I wanted to make a full border here, and I didn't want to color in every single one of those pumpkins, but you definitely can if you want make this card and want to. Oh, Christy, you've got it on order. You're going to love it when you get it. Now, I'm intentionally going to stamp off, have the pumpkin off the side of this paper. If you ever put it right on there and then down here, you only get a partial, it looks kind of funny. So I always just do a partial on purpose. And I'm just going to stamp them. Don't worry if they're not in a perfect line. Actually, I'm not doing too bad here. It's looking pretty straight. There we go. So now I just got a nice little pumpkin line. I wanted to keep going with my pumpkin theme on this card. And then last but not least, this is a 2 1/4 by 1/2 inch piece of basic white. I'm going to grab the one that says, "Grateful it's finally." And you'll see how that sentence is finished here in a little bit. Using my early espresso. And I'm just going to stamp it being clear. I can see right where I'm stamping. Hold it down for a few seconds, bring it up. There we go. So that is ready. Put that in my little dish. Oops. I'm going to finish this card. Hopefully I'll remember. I've got some cards to show you guys, so I'll show you that when I get done with this one. So get this out of the way. I meant to show these cards at the beginning of the video and totally forgot and just saw them. Okay, done with the blending brush. So get that out of the way. Grab this big thing, or Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let's see how much I can do at one time. Get that out here. With our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you do the base platform, then you do the die plate, and then you do a standard cutting plate. Oh, and Barbie says you just got this set today. Oh, and you like it. Good. You said super cute. I'm glad you like it. Okay, what I should have done is put that inside piece in already, but I'm not going to worry about it now. Okay. You know what? I think I'm just going to do these two together, and then I'll do that pumpkin pie piece here in just a minute. I'm going to grab the dies. And I need the pumpkin pie, the cup, the whipped cream, this little bit of whipped cream, and I need the straw. Now, there's one that is curved a little bit and one that's got a little straighter. They both have a little slant on one end. The curved one is for the cinnamon stick. The one that's a little straighter at the top, that is for the straw. So I'm going to let's go ahead and get the white piece done here. I'm getting the large whipped cream. I'm going to have that opening go right around the image. This is called Post-it tape. This will hold it in place for me. I'm going to grab the straw, and the end is kind of slanted a little bit. That's the bottom of the straw. Now, one trick, you want to line up the top of the straw at the top, not the bottom of the straw, because there's no stamping here at the bottom. They do that so that way you can put it underneath the whipped cream or wherever you want to put it in the cup and not worry about that. Just gives you a little bit of cardstock to be able to attach it on. So that's why they did that. So make sure you line up the top of the straw. And I'll put this on here. I'm going to make sure I put tape in the inside, and that'll make it so that doesn't move on me. Then this little guy right here, remember this is the same whipped cream stamp, but this top one die cuts the top of it off perfectly because they've got this stamp just right. And this is going to be my little dollop of whipped cream on my pumpkin pie. I thought that was genius. They made a die to make it smaller, and it lines up. You just use the same stamp. Oh, got to get these on too. So here's the cup. Get that inside. There we go. Let's see if I can get by with just one piece of tape. Oh, no, I've got a couple here. This is a big one, so I think I'm going to use 2 pieces. I've got my Post-it tape handy in case I need to get more, but I'm going to try to make it with just the ones I've got ready out on here. Oh, yeah, that'll hold that. Now, like I said, this is Post-it tape I got on Amazon. You can also use the adhesive part of Post-it notes or that low-tack painter's tape, the yellow one. I haven't tried that before, but somebody told me it works great. I'm going to run this through. Oh, hi, Cindy. Yeah, this set is fun. Yes, that Nothing Better set. That one retires it, but if you have it, that goes perfect with this. Okay, so we've got our little dollop. See how perfectly that die cut that? I think that is so neat. Then I've got the straw. You can see how there's just white down here at the bottom, but that is the way you want it to be. Here's the full whipped cream right there. And I did it with the basic beige because I didn't want the dark lines to it. So I thought that looked better for the whipped cream, the basic beige. Then we've got the cute cup. And last but not least, the pumpkin pie. And as you can see, there's plenty of room for the second card. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in this piece. This is pumpkin pie that's 5.5 by 1 3/4. But it's enough for both my cards. And I want the pumpkin, one that says pumpkin, and the one that says season. And I can kind of angle this a little bit. This can go right in here. And then when I go to do the second one, I think I'll probably have plenty of room if you do the pumpkin down here and then your season. You may not have to do that. You can probably do it the exact same way, but just to be on the safe side, you might want to put pumpkin down here because you can tell I'm going to have more room down here. Then I'm going to put this back on top, another standard cutting plate on top. You only need to run it through once. This die cuts it really, really well. And that is all the die cutting on this card, so put that out of the way. Now, one thing I noticed, and it looks fine without it, whenever they have their small eyes in these dies, it's always hard to keep track of that little dot that goes on top of the eye. So they didn't make one, and it looks just fine without it. But if you want one, if you really like having that little dot up there, you could probably use the bottom or the top part, probably the top part of the P. You see how there's a little piece there that didn't come out? You could poke that out, and that could be the top of your eye. But I'm not going to worry about it on mine. I think it looks fine without it. Sometimes it's a little hard to put those little pieces, but I do suggest taking paper piercer end if you take your pick tool and poking those out, because the next time you use this, you don't want that cardstock in there because it might mess up the die cutting. Then we've got the season. You can see how easy it is to get these out, and it die cuts so well. There's my season, one little piece, a couple little pieces there, and there's the season. So that is all the die cutting. Get that little piece out. Oh, there's one there too. I could get my little ladybug vacuum, but they're only a couple little pieces, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so you can tell I've got plenty of room to do that again. Let's put this away. And now, time to start putting this together. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the inside in first, since it's all ready. There we go. I always like, you don't have to, but I always like to get adhesive right up in those corners. I think it holds it down a little better. And then put this in. That is all ready to go. Now it's time to start putting this together. Let's bring in the cup, the pumpkin season. So now you know how this one, grateful it's finally pumpkin season. Bring in these whipped creams and the straw. Okay, now I thought the easiest way to do this, I'm going to put all of these on right here. Well, actually, let's go ahead and put this little dollop of whipped cream on. You could use the seal. I think I'm going to just use a glue dot, though. I think I used seal last time on my card, but I think this glue dot will be just fine. And just put that on top of my pumpkin. So now it's got a little whipped cream on my pumpkin pie. You got to have whipped cream on your pumpkin pie. And then grab my dimensionals. And yep, I want to make sure I was thinking right. I'll just put 2 on the top and then 1 down here at the bottom. That should be plenty. And then on this one here, I'm just going to put one near the top. I'm not going to worry about putting anything on here because it's going to go over the cup just a little bit. So the cup's going to help support it. If you want to, you could put a little bit of adhesive there on the bottom, but you really don't need to. That one dimensional will hold it on just fine. And then this one I just put on with regular seal. Now with the, I'm going to put the cups on first. That's right. That's the way I want to do that first. So grab my take your pick tool again. I like to use it. I take the paper piercer and put it in at an angle and scoop those paper backings off. And then this is going to go right about here. Okay. Go ahead and put the whipped cream on top. Have it overlap just a little bit. There we go. And the straw, I decided I was going to put it, just have it be flat there. I kind of like the whipped cream being up a little bit. So it looks like the straw is really inside that whipped cream. So I'm going to grab my silicone mat if I can get hold of it. It's kind of covered up back over here for some reason. There we go. You know what? I bet you the glue dots would work with this too. I bet this is big enough. Oh, it sure is. So I'm going to put one on each end. You can definitely use the glue too. The glue will make it to where you can kind of slide it around a little bit to get it in place. And you don't have that with the glue dots. I don't need to move it too much. I'm just going to make sure that I cover up that bare spot. There we go. So my cup is done. Now I'm going to put this. Oh, I forgot to put dimensionals on this. Oops. So I'll put one here. I think 2 is probably going to be plenty. If you're worried about the this coming off, but with that glue dot, it's on there really good. You could always put a dimensional right there too, but you really don't need to. Take the paper backings off of this. Put the pumpkin pie on right next to it. Now I'm going to lay these down. I had this seasoned, since it's shorter, closer to the whipped cream, and then that's going to go on top. So I'm going to take this. Now you could, if you've got those adhesive sheets that we have, you could attach the cardstock. Let me grab that piece. You would just cut out a piece of the adhesive sheet, the same size as the cardstock. You take off the paper backing off of one side, put that adhesive sheet on here, then you die cut it. And then you can peel off the paper. It's like making a sticker. But I wanted to show you, because a lot of us have the glue. I know this is real narrow, but what I'm going to do, I am just putting little dots on here. Just super little dots. I'm not going to make little lines. These little dots are going to be fine. If you make a dot that's too big, I will show you what you can do with that with a silicone mat. That's probably plenty. None of them are too big, so I'm not going to actually do what I'm saying, but if it gets too big, you just kind of tap this onto the silicone mat and the glue will go on that silicone mat, and then you can peel it off after it dries. But that makes it so you can make the little dot you made not as thick and it won't glob up on you. And I just saw a couple of places I thought probably better put some glue on there. I'm going to put this one right here. Now the trick with the multi-purpose glue, hold it down with pressure for a little bit. There we go. And that will make it so it holds on. The pressure is what helps. If you just kind of lay it down quick and think it's stuck, sometimes it still comes off. Oh, hi, Debbie Franklin from Vermont. Glad you got to make it. I'm going to put little dots here. Definitely where there are places where it's a little wider, because there are some places, especially on this pea, that are a little bit wider. If they're real narrow, I don't bother with putting any glue. But doing dots, I think, is a lot easier than trying to make little thin lines. They're less apt to ooze on you. Then put that right above. I'm lining the right ends of the words together. You can definitely do it differently if you want to, but that's just how I decided to do mine. Oops, kind of messed that one up. There we go. All better. Then, oops, flipping things around. I'm going to take this, just put some regular seal on it. I'm going to do it on both ends. And then this, I thought about putting it straight, but I liked it better angled a little bit. So there we go. We're almost done. Get that little piece off of there. I just need to put on the bling. This time I decided to go with a pecan pie, since that's what the card base is. I'm going to put one right here. Another one right here, a little farther away, and then one right over here. And that is the first card. So that is for Team Pumpkin in the big fall debate. So hope you like that one. Put that to the side. Now I'm going to do the neutral, do the hot cocoa one. Get this out of the way here so it's ready for later. Always try to clean up just a little bit. It makes it a little easier for me when I go to the next card. I'm going to grab this one. This one's got a dark card base. This is early espresso. Get all these pieces out. And like I said, the first card I didn't use any DSP, which is designer series paper. This one is one you might have missed. This is called Traditions of Saint Nick. Yes, Traditions of Saint Nick. It's got some really neat old-fashioned Santas in it. It came out last year. It's not in a catalog, but it's under the online exclusives in the online store. So if you want to check it out, you'll want to go to the online store in the search. Just type out. You could just type in Saint Nick, and this will pop up. But it's really cute. And this one I thought was perfect because you can see their little Christmas drinks. That's probably hot cocoa there. It's got little candies and things like that. Candy canes too, and I'm putting that on there. So I thought that was perfect. So this is that regular 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, Christy, thank you so much. I needed that help. She said cards. So I said, oh, that's right. I got some thank you cards in the mail, and there are a couple of them I've had for a couple weeks, and I kept forgetting to show you. Isn't this one neat? It slides out. They want to send me a thank you when they got the door prize. This is not necessary, but I really appreciate it. I think that's neat. This is from Romaine. I couldn't remember who sent me this one. But thank you, Romaine. I think you're even watching. I think I remember seeing your name. If not, you'll probably be watching the replay. So there is that one. Can't remember the name of the set. It's in the annual catalog. I do remember that. Then I got this pretty one. Isn't that gorgeous? This is from paper that was in Celebration a couple years ago. It looks like she fussy cutted that out. I thought that was really pretty. And this one is from Jan. So thanks, Jan. I really like that one a lot. And then this is the one I just got. This one was from Cindy Howard. Isn't that pretty? I love, it's a fun fold type one. I love the die cut she put in there. She also put a note in there, but I thought I'd just show you the card. You don't need to see the note. So thanks, Cindy. I really like those cards. Always want to show those off because I get some nice ones sometimes. Now, the other cards I want to show you. I'm going to try to do this every time I come up with my new card club. I've been forgetting to mention my card club. Usually I just want to talk about my card class at home during this live. But I want to show you the cards that are going on. This is from my Autumn Expressions club this month. I'm going to be making a video for this one hopefully tomorrow. This will be the first card that I'll do in the club, and I'll do it as a public video so everybody can see it. And I'll show you everything you get in club this month. You've got until September 15th to subscribe, and you subscribe through PayPal. You can find all that information out by clicking that monthly online card club link below in the video description and under that Learn More button on Facebook. So there's that one. I love this paper. Isn't that pretty? I love the designs of this paper. I can't remember the name of it. Autumn something, but it's gorgeous. And I went ahead and ordered this. I usually wait till the 16th of the month to place my club order. But a lot of times, this happened to me last year. The stuff, autumn stuff, sold out super early, even the first day of the new catalog coming out. When I went to order 8 a.m. that morning, stuff was already sold out. So I got up as soon as at 2 a.m. my time. I was so tired and got this stuff ordered. So I've got enough from the club members already in it. Plus I bought a few extra. So I did notice these faux glass embellishments that are part of the club are no longer available. They'll be available again, but they sold out. And so, but I've got plenty for the people that join. So there's that one. Here's the second one. They always make 4 cards. They get enough card kits to make 2 of each. And I always decorate the inside. Here's the second one. I love the frame in that. And there's that. And this shows you how pretty that paper is too. Isn't that neat? This one was just one of the sides that had like a texture to it. And then I stamped some leaves on it. There's that one. And then last but not least, this one. And another really neat paper. So I just thought I'd show you that. So if you're interested in finding out more about my card club, just click that monthly online card club link. Okay, there we go. And you'll find out all the information there. Hi, Robin. Yep, you saw those at the crop. Those are the ones that you're wanting to have pictures of, and I've got pictures now, so I'll send those to you. Okay. Robin's my best friend, and she's also on my team. So I wanted to get that stuff to her. So this is early espresso again, 5.5 by 8.5. And Christy, thank you so much for reminding me. I totally forgot that they were sitting right there in my eyesight too, and I still was forgetting. I get in the zone of making cards and forget sometimes. Okay, so there is the card base. This one is going to be a landscape type card. So I've got the fold here on the top. Oh, and Robin, I just saw you saying, sorry you're late. Don't worry about it. You're good. This is the second card, so you just missed the first one. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. There's the first one. So we've got this. Let's see, I've got this piece. This is 5.25 by 4 real red. And I didn't realize this till I was writing the blog posts for these cards. I put plaid on every single card. This time I used an embossing folder. This is a new one. It's one of the great big ones. Let me bring in this one to show you the difference. Actually, I've got all three sizes. We have 3 sizes of folders. There's this size. Then they came out with this size. This is the fall leaf, or leaf fall 3D embossing folder. I'll be using that here on the last card. And then we've got this great big one. This is Forever Plaid. This is brand new. It's in that reindeer suite in the new Holiday Mini. So that is this is what it makes. So this is petal pink. It is, got to move my head here, 4.25 by 3. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center of my real red piece. Get some adhesive on here. Get this going again. There we go. Oops. And this will go right in the middle. Like so. That looks pretty good. Then this is that piece of the Traditions of St. Nick. It's a 2 by 4 inch piece. I love the designs in this too. It's got that old-fashioned Christmas look, vintage Christmas look. I love it. I love the Santas in it. They are so cool. So I'm going to put this right along the edge of the petal pink, but then the top and bottom edges line up with the edges of the real red cardstock. Okay. And yes, I cut it too long. Let me grab my scissors. Always an easy fix. Get that cut off. Oh yeah, Deborah. Is it Deborah? No, Deidre. I got a glare on this nice screen again. Yeah, Deidre, it is a large one. I didn't realize that too when I first got it. Didn't read the size on there, but yeah, that's a big one. So this one's a big one, and there's another big one in the mini. Oh, which one is that one? I'll think of it here in a minute. I think we've got at least a couple of them in there. So that is on the left side. Not putting any ribbon. Actually, I didn't use any ribbon on any of these cards. I don't do that very often. Usually I put ribbon at least on one card. But I didn't think these needed it. They're cute without it. So go ahead and put this on the card base. Make sure that fold is on top. So I said that. I thought, wait a minute. Did I turn that over by accident? Okay, so that is on there. And, oops. Well, I'm going to show you how to color this in. This is a 5.25 by 4 inch piece for the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. The reason I did it ahead of time is because I'm putting these two on the front of the card too, so you're going to see exactly how to color them. I didn't think you needed to watch me do it twice. So get this on. So that was a little bit of a spoiler, but that's okay. Isn't that gingerbread and candy cane cute? Oops, off the camera. There we go. So I'm going to put this on the inside of the card. Circle dots folder. Yeah, now that's in the annual catalog. That's a big one. Yes. There's another one in the mini one is the birch tree, birchwood. I think it's birch tree. I know it has the word birch in it. That's another big one from the Holiday Mini. But yeah, that circle one is from the annual catalog. Yep, Crystal just said birchwood. That's what I was thinking it was. Okay. There we go. So we've got that on there. And there's another big one in the annual, and I will think of that here in a minute too. So there we go. Now, got to do some stamping. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this circle on. Like I said, I use the stylish circles. Not stylish circles, stylish shapes. Can't just call it circles because there's different shapes on here. So we've got the 4 banners, the squares, and the circles. And the only dies that I used in the set for this card and the next card This one is the second largest and the third largest circle. And then when you see me make the last card, I just used the second largest circle. So those are the only 2 dies I used on this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one right on top. So the white one was done with the third largest, and this is done with the second largest. Get that on there. And I'm putting this on with the seal also, because what I'm going to pop up is my hot cocoa. And this is going to go right in the middle of the DSP strip. Okay. So now I can put this to the side. I don't have to worry about finding those circles. This is a piece of basic white. You need a 3.5 by 2 inch just to make 1 card, but since I'm giving you enough for the 2 cards, this is an 8.5 by 2. So you're going to have plenty left over on this one. I want to make sure you had plenty in case you want to stamp some more stuff. Like I said, there's so many stamps in the stamp set, you might want to add more stuff to your card. So I'm going to grab the Stampin' Pierce mat. So swirly. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. That's the one I was trying to think of. But it's really neat because when I make those this here, I could actually do 2 at the same time in this because it's so big. I might have been able to get 3 in there, but I didn't want to take the chance of it moving on me. But 2, I had plenty of room for the 2. So I'm going to grab the cup again. And then I'll put this on. Oh, thanks, Cindy. I'm glad you liked the design of the card. Oh, and you're welcome from the measurements. Okay, so I'm going to put the cup right here. That's with the Early Espresso again. So all the stamping of the outline stuff, I'm using Early Espresso, well, except for those pumpkins that I'd put inside the first card. That one I did pumpkin pie, but everything that's getting colored in is stamped with the Early Espresso, in case I forget to say that. Oh yeah, I need to grab the hot cocoa. Oh, that's the apple cider. Where'd the hot cocoa go? Oh, there it is. There's my hot cocoa because I only want the cocoa part. So I'm going to go in the end that doesn't have a lot of plastic on it. Turn this. So I'm only seeing the cocoa. Now, if you're nervous about getting ink on the hot, then you could put a piece of tape right across there. But then after you get the ink on the cocoa, make sure you take the tape off before you stamp. I have done that before, forgot to take the tape off, and I have this big blotch. So I don't want you to do that. So put tape on it, ink it up, and then take the tape off before you stamp. But since this is clear, I can tell I'm going right on the edge of the ink pad, and I only inked up the cocoa. The hot didn't get anything on it. And then I can put the cocoa right in the middle of the band. There we go. So that is ready. Now I need the marshmallows. I like marshmallow. I go back in between marshmallows and whipped cream. I think I probably like the whipped cream a little bit better. But since I already put whipped cream on the last one, I wanted to use the marshmallow pile. So we've got that. Bring in that candy cane you just saw a minute ago. That one there. And then the last thing I need to do is the little gingerbread guy. And that is, yep, that's all I'm going to do on this piece. While I've got it here, I might as well get coloring. I'm going to use Petal Pink for the cup here because this is going to be hot cocoa with peppermint in it. So I thought, well, I didn't want to make it red or brown. I thought I'd go with a pink. So I'm going to take the dark, yep, there it is. The dark Petal Pink. Get this out of the way here. And once again, I'm going to do like I did with that pumpkin spice latte I made. I'm going to do the dark over here, and dark over down here. Do a couple layers on it so I get it good and dark. Then I will take the light Petal Pink. First color everything. I don't worry about blending until I get it all colored in. Because sometimes a few of the colors, there's not a big difference between the dark and the light. You don't have to blend too much. I don't know if you can tell the dark is just a little too dark there. So I'm going to go over the dark again and go over the light a little bit. And that kind of blends everything in. There, that looks a lot better. And I decided to just leave the cocoa white. I'm not going to color it any. And I'm going to use the light Real Red. You can use whichever shade you want. There's since these are so small, there's no shading, so you just pick one of the shades. But I wanted to do the light. I'm doing every other stripe to make this look like a candy cane. Okay. And then I'm going to grab pecan pie for my gingerbread man. You could just do it all one color. I did the dark. Make sure I got the right one. There we go. Sometimes it's hard to tell, so I have to read on the title to make sure I got the right one. Where these little lines are, I'm just going to make those a little bit darker. And then I'll color the rest of them in with a light pecan pie. But isn't he cute? You could definitely go all out and use different colors. But he's kind of small, so you couldn't put too many colors on. So I'm just making him all at once. So we've got a gingerbread man cookie with our hot cocoa. So that's everything colored in there. Put this to the side. I'll be die cutting that here in a minute. Now I'm going to grab this long piece. There will be 2 in the kit because you actually need 2 of them for both cards. This is 8.5 by 1/2 inch. Bring this back in. I'm going to do the You Had Me At. So this time I'm not going to use any of the word dies. I'm just going to use the stamps this time to show you how those look. So here's the You Had Me At. I'm going to put that on one end, kind of go over. Don't go all the way to the end. You'll see why here in a minute. So we've got that there. And then I've got one more red one. So I'm going to go ahead and get it done. This is peppermint. Leave a space and stamp it. Hold it down for a few seconds. I do that because that helps the ink go into the paper a little more and gives you a better impression. Oh, Crystal, is it your favorite? Oh, yes. Michelle said, yes. Marshmallows are wonderful with graham crackers and the chocolate. I agree. I love s'mores. That's the best way to have marshmallows. Okay, and then the last one, I need that hot cocoa. Well, actually, 2. Grab my hot cocoa. Where did I put that? I just used it. Oh, there it is. I always think it's going to be longer than that. I don't know why. I think that's what throws me. This time I'm going to ink up the whole thing. So I suggest stamping the cocoa first. That way you don't get any ink on that hot. But this time I want the hot cocoa. I want the whole thing. That there. And once again, I'm leaving a little space. Then I'm going to grab the and sign. And just have a little bit of a space here because these are going to stay on the same strip. There we go. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm not going to cut this yet because I'm afraid I'll lose some pieces after I bring the die cutting machine in. So let me move some things around here. Need to make room. There are so many stamps on this table. It's crazy. Okay. I usually don't use this many stamps in one class, but you got to with this stamp set. It's too much fun. Okay, bring this in. Here we go. I'm going to grab this again. Put that on there. Oops, get that. There we go. And this is big, so I'm definitely going to use 2. See, that's why you want to use 2 because that bottom moved on me. So we'll get that fixed. There we go. Then I need the candy cane die. I need the gingerbread die. And I need this one. This one will die cut the marshmallows. So we'll get that on here. There we go. And I think this one just needs 1. And we'll get this little guy right there. You can tell I always push tape inside the center part. I learned the hard way it'll still move if you don't get tape inside there. Now this one's a little harder because it is pretty thin. And I've also learned I'm only going to put it up here so I can still see part of the candy cane. Sometimes I will cover it up completely, something thin like that, and it ends up moving on me when I start putting it through and I don't see it. So I want to see a little bit of it. I should have done that with a gingerbread guy, but I think he's going to be okay. Put this through. Oh, Mary, you said you overlooked the stamp set? Yeah, you do need it. It is. I love it. And I'm not doing that since I'm going more towards the hot cocoa. The drinks we only have every once in a while. There are stamps for coffee too, so you can make these all year long for all your coffee coffee lover friends. Oops, that moved on me, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be fine. I didn't see it move when it ran through, but it did. Oh, I bet that happened when it kind of moved here on the bottom. I thought I fixed it, but I don't think I fixed it good enough. There are the marshmallows. And the ones I was worried about are probably perfect. Yep, there's the candy cane. And here comes our little gingerbread guy. Yep, he came out perfect too. All right, that is all the die cutting on this card. Get all these dies, put in my little dish so I don't lose them. As you can see, there's more than enough, so you can add a lot more images if you want to. Now I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring in my paper snips. I'm going to cut intentionally at an angle here, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm kind of angling them about the same. You can do them totally opposite. They can go different directions, but I decided to have them like that. They're not going to be exactly the same, but that's what I'm going for. It's fine. Do the same thing with the peppermint. There we go. Get rid of these little ends. I intentionally am not cutting straight because I cannot cut straight at all. I can do these little angles though. There we go. So those are ready to go. Put those in my little dish because I'm afraid I'll lose those too. Now it's time to put this card together. I'm going to bring in this again and start putting on everything. I'm going to grab this and see, I want to think how to do. Oh, yes. I'm going to go ahead and take some seal, put it right across the top of this. I'm going to grab my silicone mat too because I don't want to get a bunch of adhesive on my glass mat. And I'm just going to hide the bottom of the marshmallows just a little bit. It's barely on there, but I'm going to fix that because I don't want it to fall off. I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I'm going to make sure I put one on the marshmallows. There we go. I could put another one there, but I think that's going to hold it just fine. Let me think here. Yep, that's all I need to do. So I'm going to take your pick tool, take the paper backings off. And this will go right here. Oh, and I'm going to say this. I meant to say this at the beginning too. I have to thank you guys. I have a humongous thank you. In my 21 years, I've never done this, but I earned the incentive trip this year. And that's all because of you guys. Doing these card class at homes, people have really liked it, and I couldn't believe it. I got it today. I waited till the commissions were finalized. It's not totally official yet because they still have to finalize this month. But it said at the bottom, congratulations, you earned the incentive trip. So I just want to thank you guys. I can't believe it. I'm excited. I've never earned that before. But I want to thank all of you guys because you guys are the reason I got there, and a lot of prayer. It was pretty cool year. Thank you so much. I just want to tell you that because I've been forgetting. I knew I'd forget if I didn't say it right now. It popped in my head. If you're like me, you forget things if you don't say it right when you think of it. So I want to put that in there because I want to make sure I thanked everybody. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Christine. And Melissa. I'm saying a bunch of thank yous. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Melissa. Oh, and Melissa put a comment I missed. She said the marshmallows could be ice cubes. Perfect. That's a very good. Yes, it definitely could be. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Christy. Deidre. Thanks, Robin. Robin knew I was getting close. Thanks, Crystal. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I can't believe it's this year it's not going out of the country, and I'm okay with that. It's going to Disney World, but we're staying at the real expensive one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's going to be fun. I've heard they pamper everybody like crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be in May. Oh, thanks, Becky. But I do need to have a disclaimer. I almost forgot. I think it's less than 1% of demonstrators earn that trip. So I don't want, we have to do that disclaimer so people don't think, oh, I want to get in so I can win that trip. It takes a lot of work. Like I said, that's my first time in my 21 years. So, but I'm excited. Okay. Oh, thanks, Paula and Myra and Anne and Marilyn. I don't think I'm going to miss names. I know it. Thanks, Ruth. I'm going to go ahead and get started and get this going again. Okay, so I've got the You Had Me At. I'm going to kind of lay these down just to have an idea where I want to put them. It's going to be about like that. And put some adhesive on here. And angle that like so. And whenever I make cards, I always lay things down before I glue them down. But since I've already made this, I've got my original right here in front of me so I can see how I did it. But that's how I always come up with cards. I lay them down first to see exactly the way I want it. So I'm kind of angling. This one I kind of made straight, and the others I'm kind of angling a little bit. Now it says you had me at hot cocoa and peppermint. Speaking of peppermint, I almost forgot. We need to put that little candy cane on there. So I'm going to grab my glue here. Oh, Debbie, you went to Mexico with your upline. They definitely pamper you. Oh, good. I've seen pictures. My upline is gone too. She's excited. I get to go with her this year. Yes, I do deserve a vacation, Mary. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Put some glue on here. I could definitely use, oh, you know what? I think I did use glue dots. Well, I'll go ahead and finish this off. You can definitely use 2 glue dots on here. But I got the glue on there already, so I'll just go ahead and do it this way. So I'm going to slide this underneath my marshmallows. There we go. And then I'm going to take this little guy, because he works with the glue dots too, also with the glue. And I'm going to put one on the top and the bottom. Actually, probably more here on the side, because he's going to be hanging off just a little bit off the cup. I kind of liked him at the bottom of the cup. You could put him more here over here, but I kind of wanted to show the whole little guy, so he's going to go on top of the cup. There we go. Got all the little pieces in. The last thing to do is put some of those swirl dots on. I'm going to be using every single color. I can't remember if I said that with the first card. This time I'm going to grab the petal pink ones. I'm going to put one. Oh, well, shoot. Get some more putty out of here. But I can go ahead and do it this way. I'm going to put this one. Well, if it'll quit going on my fingernail. There we go. Put one there. Then I will put one up here. And another one right here. Oops. There we go. And you could definitely use the white ones on this one too, but I was trying to make it so I used all the colors like I usually do. So there we go. So there is the second card. Like I said, the neutral card in the debate, hot cocoa. I think everybody loves hot cocoa, but I'm adding the peppermint to make it more Christmassy. Okay. Last card. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I'm glad you liked that one. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Becky. Okay. This one is going to be a little lighter. I went ahead and die cut some of these leaves out because there's only one leaf die in there. But I will show you how, because I still left it to where I had to do one more. But I want to show you when you die cut them, this is what they look like. But then there's this center thing that comes out. You can keep this. I'm going to keep mine because if you put it behind something, it still looks like a leaf. You just don't have a stem. So you can definitely hold on to these. You can also, if you don't pop it out, you could also put it on. Hopefully you can see the detail on that. There we go. That's better. Had to wait for the camera to focus in. But you can keep it together too and have it like that. So you have 2 different looks. But I am going to go take them all out. I kind of like them just being lines. Be real careful because you don't want to rip that center part out. There we go. There. So I'm going to put those to the side. I do have one more pecan pie I need to die cut, so you'll get to see how it die cuts. I didn't want you to have to wait for me to put it through the die cutting machine 3 times. That would have taken a while. Okay. There's that circle I showed you, the second largest circle die in that style of shapes. Let's see. Oh, and in the kit, I give a piece that is, oh, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. 5.5 by 1. This is for the leaves. So I'll give you more than what you need. So I've already got my 2 leaves, enough for this. This I can put to the side. I have all my red leaves. But still need that one to show you how to do the one. So this is the 5.5 by 8.5 petal pink. Get those corners lined up. So this one is for my Team Apple people for the fall flavor debate. There we go. And this one is going to have the fold on the left. And here's that leaf fall. I showed you that folder just a minute ago. And I like how it's like a swoosh of leaves falling. So you can have bare spots here that aren't embossed. And I'm going to be stamping a sentiment there. So it worked out perfect for me this time. And then this is a piece. This is from the Iconic Celebrations DSP. It's a 6x6 pack. It's got so many different designs for Christmas, for winter, for fall. It's a really neat pack. So neat that it's not available right now, but they're expecting a new shipment in the week of September 16th. So that's just a little over a week away. So hopefully that'll come in real quick, real soon. But I had enough of this. This is a 4 by 1 inch piece. See, there's some pumpkins. I could have done the pumpkins too, but this is an apple card, and I don't think we want to mix the pumpkin and the apple. This definitely would look good on the first one. It would still look good on this one also, if you want to feature both, because like I said, I like both apple and pumpkins. But pumpkin is definitely my favorite. If I have a choice, I'm definitely going to pick the pumpkin. Okay. And between apple juice and apple cider, I like apple cider a lot better than apple juice. I'm going to put this right across. Oh, this is a 1 1/4 by 4. It's just a little bit wider. The length is the same, 4 inches. It's a 1/4 of an inch wider, so that way it can be a nice little mat for this. And then this is going to go right across the middle of that basic beige. And I think I forgot to tell you the color of this one. It is a 4 by 5 1/4. So just close to the middle. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And I might as well put the circle on. It's going to go right in the middle. Get this going again. Well, no, not near the end. It's just not wanting to move. There we go. I think I'm getting some adhesive built up here, so it's getting stuck. I will take care of that after the video, clean it up, and it'll be just good as new. Okay, so there's that. And now I'm going to put this on the card base. And as you can see, I did the inside already. And I will show you how I colored those in because I put those on the front of the card too. So put this on top. I've used these colors together before, the basic beige with petal pink. I think it looks so pretty. So this is the basic 4 by 5 1/4 inch basic white. This is my apple cinnamon. That's what I'm pretending like it is anyway, donut with the apple. So that is the inside of the card. They're both stamped with the early espresso, but like I said, you'll see me do that here in just a minute because I put them on the front of the card too. Yeah, Laura, I love that leaf embossing folder too. It is gorgeous. I use it every chance I get, and I get to use it a lot in the fall. I love that. So there we go. Yeah, Patty says she loves that embossing folder too. Favorite embossing? Yes, and she says it's one of her favorite embossing folders too. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. Yes, I'm going to put this to the side. This is going to be die cutting. This is another 5.5 by 1 inch piece. So it's the same size as this one and the other red one that I did with the leaves. But this one is going to be for some words that I'm going to die cut, and there's enough for both cards. So put them to the side, but this needs stamped on. Grab this again. Always bring that paper in. I probably don't need the paper because I don't think I'm stamping off of this one at all. bring in that cup. You can definitely make projects without the cup, but I really like the cup. So that's why I put it on all the cards. So this is early espresso again. Oh, and this is an 8.5 by 2-inch piece. So this is going to be enough for both cards. I'm going to grab that donut, stamp it with early espresso. And I do believe that's all the big images I need to stamp on that. Let me double check and make sure. Oh, nope. I love putting a cinnamon stick in my apple cider. And there is a cinnamon stick. So there we go. Put that a little closer so you can see it. It looks just like a cinnamon stick. So that is all I need to stamp on this piece. And, oh, I do need to stamp something on here, but I'm going to wait. Well, no, I've already got the circle on there, so we can go ahead and do that. I'm going to open this up because the least amount of layers you have, the better when you go to stamp some things later. But I'm going to stamp what I did. Find my stamp. This is 2 different stamps. I used my grid thing here, lined up the stamps, put it at the bottom of the letters where it needed to be. Of course, the P's need to be hanging over. And once I lined it up here, then I just put the block right on top. So I know they're going to stamp straight. It's nice to have that grid on there. I'm going to use real red. And then stamp apple cider right here. I'm going to bring it down a little farther than I did before because I've got a leaf sticking out here. So it didn't emboss just like I did my first one, but that's okay. There, we've got that. And then there is a stamp that says, see if I can find it here. Nope, I already used that one, so it's this one. Except maybe you, and this will make sense here in a minute when you see the words I'm going to die cut. Doesn't make too much sense right now. Use early espresso. And I'm going to stamp it right underneath, kind of center it under the apple cider. There we go. Now that is all the stamping we need to do on this card. Bring in the die cutting machine one more time. Got a little bit to die cut. I'm going to grab this pecan pie piece. Here is the leaf. And then I need the donut. And this is that one that's rounded, so that does the cinnamon stick. I believe that is all I need. Oh, nope. And I also need this one. This one says nothing's better than. So I'm going to put these over here. I don't know if I can get everything on here. Let's see. Let me bring that piece in I just stamped on. Oh, wait a minute. I want to color on that. You know what? I will bring this out in a minute. I thought I'd colored those. It doesn't take long at all, though. I always like to put grid paper on here because when you use Stampin' Blends, it does soak through the paper. So on this one, I'm going to take pecan pie. And since apple cider is kind of light, I'm only going to use the light pecan pie because I'm going to have this be like a see-through cup. So this top rim up here, I'm not going to color that at all. I'm going to go right under here and then color this so we see the apple cider through the cup. Color this all in. I didn't want to add any of the dark because that would just be too dark for apple cider. But I am going to I kind of liked having this look like there's a shadow on it. So I'm going to go over a little bit again over here with the light. And that gives you a little bit of a two-tone effect with the same one. I'm going to leave this at the light one. I'm going to grab Petal Pink. Actually, let's bring that dark pecan pie back in. I'm going to use the dark pecan pie and color in the cinnamon stick. I'm not going to worry about doing light because I want this to be darker than my cup. The cinnamon stick is usually a darker color, of course. Then I will take the dark Petal Pink, and wherever there's a sprinkle, you could just color this whole thing with either the dark or the light, but I decided I'm going to make the sprinkles just a little bit darker. You could even, I didn't try this, if you want to have different colors of sprinkles, you can color over these with a different color completely, and then go over with a lighter color so the rest of the icing's a different color. That would also look cool too. But I'm using the dark Then I'm going to take the light and color in all the icing with the light petal pink. And then when I'm all done, if I want to, if the dark is still too dark for me, I can go blend it. But with this one, I kind of like it being a little bit darker. I'm not going to blend it quite as much as I normally would. Still using that light touch and using brush strokes. There we go. And since it's an apple cider donut, I'm going to take the light pecan pie. And this is showing what the actual donut looks like underneath the icing. Using a very light touch. I'm not going to worry if I go out of the lines a little bit because I'm going to be die cutting it out. So I've got these here. And then there's a little bit here in the center too. There we go. Ooh, I almost forgot my apple. My goodness. Bring in that apple. I was looking at the cup. I thought, boy, that looks awful plain. I forgot I'm going to color that too. I'm not going to leave it white. I left it white on the first card, but this one I'm not going. I mean, second card, I mean. I'm going to stamp my apple. Forgot my Stampin' Pierce mat, but it'll be fine. Yep. So now I'm going to grab my real red. I'm going to use the dark real red. I'm going to make it like a curved edge here to go with the curve of the apple with the dark real red, and then take the light real red and color the rest of it in. And then go over where the two shades meet just a little bit. Now, if you just want to have a brown leaf, you can. If you don't have this color, this is the dark granny apple green. And that's what I used to color in the leaf. And I'm going to take the petal pink, take the dark one, color this in. You can definitely just leave this white if you want to. I thought it needed some color. I liked it white on the cocoa since the cup was actually the petal pink. That looked good together, but with the white and the pecan pie, I thought it needed to have a color. So I'm going over and blending those two shades a little bit. There we go. Now it looks more like apple cider because we got that apple on there. Now it's all colored in. Now I can die cut, and then we'll put this card together and be done with the class. So here is the donut. Now you have a 50-50 chance. You can see a little bump here and a little bump here. Look at where you see the icing kind of sticking out a little bit. This bump might be the larger one, and it is. There we go. So that worked. But if your bump, the first time I did it, my bumps didn't line up, so I just kind of turned it around, and then it lined up perfectly. So get that in there. It is. The reason it's got this line here, it's going to die cut the little hole in the middle of the donut also. Grab the cup. Put that right here. This time, hopefully it won't move on me. I'm going to tape it down really good before. There we go. Grab the cinnamon stick. Oh yeah, I already got that out, didn't I? But I got to find it. There we go. That's the rounded top. There we go. Put one piece of tape. I want to make sure I see the bottom so I know it doesn't move on me. I want to see a little bit of that image. Put this on top, run it through. Yes, Mary, there are a lot of little things in this. You can go crazy with these cards and all the little things you can add to it. That's what makes it fun. Oh, Candy, this is not the replay. You're saying you're actually watching the end of the live. So you're going to want to watch, so you can see the other two cards. You'll want to watch the replay later, but this is the actual live. So you're going to get in on both door prizes. If you do the hashtag door prize, I can't tell if you did yet. So you want to do that so that we can get in on both door prizes. The chance to win it, that is. Okay. So I've got this here. There's my cinnamon stick. Oops, wait a minute here. I got some things I need to move. There we go. As you can see the donut. And then this. And I probably could have done some more on that piece, but I forgot I've still got some more to die cut. I'm not kidding. When I get to the last card, I think my brain starts getting tired and doesn't work. I don't feel tired, but I totally forgot I have one more thing to die. It's a couple more things to die cut. No, yeah. Barb just asked if the early espresso bleeds with the blends. It does not. Now, now the only thing with this, you don't want to use StazOn ink pad because that is alcohol based. When the markers and the ink pad are alcohol based, you don't want to mix that; those will smear. But because the early espresso is water based and these are alcohol based, they're not going to smear. Alcohol and water doesn't mix, so that works. You can definitely use the early espresso. Because there are times like with fall stuff, a lot of times I will stamp with the early espresso because I really don't like the black. There is a little bit of a difference. The black still looks good, but I wanted to stick with the brown since that's kind of what the card's with. Okay, I've even used basic gray. I've used some of the other darker colors too. Okay. Oh, hi. Let's see. Go down here. Hi, Glenna. So I just saw that you said it your first time, but I couldn't see your name at first. Glad you're here. Okay. It's not nice to know, Barb. I was so glad when I found that out. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to bring in this red piece. This is a 5.5 by 1. There are 2 of them, but this is the one I'm going to use. I'll use the other one to make the 2 leaves, and this one's going to do that, the words. And so like I said, I already die cut the other 3 leaves, but I wanted to leave one more leaf so you can just see how it die cuts. So I'm going to kind of put it at an angle. Like I said, plenty. If you want to add more leaves than what I'm doing, there's more than enough cardstock to do that. Run this through once. Okay. This out of the way. And like I said, you can keep it together. Just put adhesive on here and they'll stick together. But I just want it to be the lined leaf. But I'm still going to hold on to this because this would definitely be another leaf I could put on something. Okay. And then here is the Nothing's Better Than. See if I can get it out of here. There we go. It was die cut. It just was not wanting to come out. There we go. There's a little piece there I need to poke out. Little piece in the B that came out. There we go. And you want to be careful because these are kind of together with thin pieces of cardstock. But you'll be able to read it better here once I get it on the card. Now I'm done with the die cutting for tonight. Okay, I love my die cutting machine. I use it all the time. Okay, bring in the card base. There we go. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to grab the cinnamon stick. I'm going to take the seal here and put it all the way across. Sometimes when I turn this over, I can't remember what side I want to put the cinnamon stick on. So I'm just going to go all the way across. I liked it here on the left side again. So I'm going to angle it a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to take, oh yeah, I know I'm going to take some leaves. These are super thin. They're even thinner than those words were. It's hard to put dots of glue on this. So if you can't attach these underneath something like I'm getting ready to do, I would highly suggest using those adhesive sheets. But what I'm going to do, I know I want them to be on this bottom part here. So this is the side I want to put some adhesive on. It's not wanting to move again. There we go. I'll put a little more than I normally would. I'm going to put on the pecan pie one first and kind of angle it like so. So it's attaching to the adhesive I just put there. And they're overlapping a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. And I want to make sure that this doesn't come off. So the cinnamon stick. So I'm going to take a dimensional and put it over the bottom of the cement stick, but then on the cup too. And that will help reinforce that. I'm going to do the same with the leaves. Still make sure you stay behind the cup. Don't make it to where you can see it under the leaves. It's going to go over the bottom of both of these leaves, still staying on the cup. There, that'll hold them on really good. And just so it doesn't wobble, I'm going to put one on this side. I'm going to take my, oh, there it is. I actually put it away. Take the paper backings off. And I'm going to put this on at an angle. And I'm just going to lay it down. I'm not going to hold it down completely. I'm going to tap it just a little bit so it doesn't move. But that way I can lift this up if I want to change what I'm doing. I'm going to bring in the donut. Put some adhesive on one of the ends here. Do the same thing. I'm going to put some leaves on the back behind this. So I'm covering up this whole section right here with a lot of adhesive. I'm going to bring this in. It's a little bit easier sometimes to have that underneath. Bring in that real red. That's real red, by the way. I don't know if I told you that. And my pecan pie. I kind of like the red being, since it's so much brighter, behind my pecan pie leaf. So I'm going to put this one on first. Actually, I think I'm going to turn it around. I can see where I put the adhesive. Yes, right there. There we go. So you can kind of tap it down on here. And this red one is going to go right underneath it, overlapping just a little bit. The pecan pie is going to overlap on top of it. So we've got that there. And now I'm going to make sure I get adhesive. Oop, hold on to those leaves. I almost forgot. Because I want to get a little bit of adhesive on there. Do it lightly. If you hold on to the outside part of the leaves, they're not going to move on you like they almost did with me. And I put adhesive on a couple other places on the donut. There we go. And I'm going to have it slide underneath the cup just a little bit. There we go. So we've got those there. So that's what that's going to look like. Now I'm going to grab this. This one I'm going to do this, what I did with the other words. These are a little bit wider. Not too much. You can tell they're still pretty thin. But I'm going to do that trick of just putting dots in different places. If I make any of them too big, I can just tap it, turn this over and tap it on my silicone mat and get some of the glue off. Get those just in different places. And I'm trying to put it in a bunch of different places so that way it stays down once I put it on. I don't want any of these because, like I said, this is held on with thin strips. The words are, and I don't want them coming off later. So if there's glue on, a little bit of glue on every letter, that's probably going to work. Oh, I got a little too much there, so I'm going to tap it off right there, and then I can peel it off once that glue dries. This is going, oh, I don't want to put it on upside down. This one's going to go up here. I'm going to make sure I have this part, this bigger part doesn't bend. This likes to bend, so I'm going to make sure I get all this down first, then straighten this up, and then bring it down. There we go. Oops. I didn't put enough pressure on it, so it's still moving, which I am okay with because don't have it straight like I want it yet. There we go. Now I'm going to put pressure on it. Now it's not going to move anymore. There we go. So we've got nothing's better than apple cider, except maybe you. Okay, now I just need to put, I'm going to use what they call white. Like I said, I still think those look like they're more of a vanilla or cream. I'm going to grab one of these and put it here on the circle because I thought we needed a little something on this empty spot. I'm going to grab another one, put it down here. And then another one and put some on the DSP over here. And doesn't that kind of look like the same color? I think when it goes on the basic beige, it looks more beige. So you can definitely use those for a lot of different neutral type colors. So that is the end of my first class from the Holiday Mini. We bring all the cards back. So I hope you like those. Oh, thanks, Debbie. This cider card is cute. Yeah, I have to admit, I think even though pumpkin is my favorite flavor, I think I liked how that one turned out the best. That was the last card I made too, and usually the last one. Last night, I could not think of how I wanted to do it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to bed. It'd work better in the morning, and it did. Sometimes you just have to go get some sleep, and then that card came up, and that ended up being my favorite. Even though, like I said, I'm a team pumpkin, I still think I like the cider one the best. Thanks, Robin. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks, Michelle. Let's see. I'm probably missing somebody. Let's see. Patty put down. Oh yeah, Patty was saying she didn't know you could use other ink pads with the blends. You definitely can, which I love that. Thanks, Laura. I'm glad you liked it, Deidre and Marva and Melissa and Karen. Good. I'm glad you guys are all liking the cards. Oops, it would help if that one wasn't upside down, wouldn't it? There we go. I looked down. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right. There we go. So we've got one for Team Pumpkin, one for Team Apple, and then everybody likes hot cocoa. So that is everything with that. More Than Autumn. I'm going to hurry up and tell you for those. Oh, thanks, Christy. I'm glad you like all of them. And for those of you that are new, you can get the card kits free with a qualifying order. Let me see if I can find where I put those. Oh, there they are. Moving them over the side. Like I said, I've got a ton of stamps across here. Let me get that ticker going again. You see the host code already on the screen. Actually, I'm going to do this first. If you are if this is for people that weren't on earlier, so let me get this back up. I'm going to switch this. If you live in the United States and want to be part of my door prize, make sure you do hashtag door prize, type it in just like you see there in the screen. If you did this anytime during the video here tonight, you're in the drawing. Don't worry about doing it again. This is for people that came on late and didn't know to do this. Type it in just like you see there on the screen, all small letters, no spaces, and don't forget that hashtag. The reason you have to type it in just right is because a program is what picks the winner. So it has to be, it only recognizes if it has it typed in just right. So make sure you do the hashtag door prize and you'll get put in the drawing for the Sparkle Gems. And I will draw that winner here in just a minute. The reason I'm doing this real quick is because there's always a delay between what I'm saying and what you actually see. It takes I think there's like a minute delay on live. So I wanted to give everybody a chance to get that hashtag door prize in. And then if you're watching the replay and those of you with the live, everybody does the hashtag door prize will get put in the drawing for the, I can never remember the colors, Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. I know they're grays, but I can never which one of the pearls. This came out in the annual catalog. So that's for everybody who watches the live and the replay. Now, the rule is you do have to live in the United States, do the hashtag door prize, plus you can only win one prize per video. That way more people can win. Oh, thanks, Jan. I'm glad you liked them. Okay. Now, I know I have to get that raffle together, but I wanted to tell you about the card. Let me get this raffle thing set up so I can do it when we're ready. I usually set this up beforehand and forgot. There we go. Now it's ready. So if you live in the United States and want to be, I got ready to do my door prize spiel. If you live in the United States, because you can only order from me if you live in the United States, that's Stampin' Up rules. But if you place a $40 order using the host code you're going to see in the ticker here in just a minute, so it's $40 order before shipping and tax with the host code, you will get the card kits to make 2 each of these cards. So this is enough to make 2 of each. I do the embossing for you, and I die cut the circles out. Any die cutting that's done with the die set and the More Than Autumn bundle, you'll have to do yourself. If you don't have the More Than Autumn bundle, you can substitute with whatever you have on hand to use with this paper. I do give you the cardstock, though, to die cut everything. What you saw me use is what you get in the kit times 2. So there are the card kits. Bump it up to a $50 order before shipping and tax, and you'll get a full pack of the Adhesive-Backed Swirl dots. And like I said, you'll get the full pack. I've used all these up. This is my pack. And I've got the full packs coming tomorrow, so they'll be here in plenty of time. They're on the UPS truck as we speak. Okay, so I've told you all that. Oh, and also, I'm going to go ahead and take the hashtag door prize off because I'm not seeing anybody put anything up. I think everybody's ready. So, but still do it. You still got time because I want to bring the host code back up so you can see it. Sometimes you don't want to wait till the ticker goes to the end. Now, you have to place your order by the end of the day, September 11th. So that's next Wednesday. And using that host code. Now, if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax, do not use the host code. That way you get the Stampin' Rewards yourself, and I will still give you all of the card kits and the embellishments. But I want to make sure you get the Stampin' Rewards. But if it's under $150 before shipping and tax, you have to use that host code in order to get the card kits and the embellishments. Okay, I think that's it. I'm not seeing anybody put hashtag door prize, so I think we are ready. Let me get my little raffle thing up here. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. I was clicking on the wrong thing. I'm going to put this out so you can remember what we're doing. So this is for everybody that did the hashtag door prize here tonight during the live. So let's see who's going to win. Oh, let me get my Post-it note. I know if the suspense is killing you, but I got to get ready so I can write your name down. Here we go. Congratulations, Christine. Glad you won. I don't remember if I have your address. I'm not sure if you've won before. So, you were watching on Facebook. So, if you just message me straight from my page and give me your mailing address, I'll get these mailed out at the beginning of next week. So, congratulations, Christine. I'm glad you won. Okay. I think that's it. You've seen the cards. Now go back to me. If it'll switch, come on. I think my program is getting tired too. Oh, there we go. I've always got to move that camera so I can see your comments. So I'm glad you guys could come. I hope you liked the class. Like I said, this is the first one from the Holiday Mini, which is September to December mini catalog. It's just a lot easier to say Holiday Mini. Okay, so a bunch of congratulations. Hopefully, oh, Christine, you are there. Good. So congratulations. I was hoping you were still on. So I will see you guys next week. I don't Let's see. I wrote down. I'm not going to. I can't even remember what I'm going to do next week, but it will be something from the holiday catalog again. Thinking it's still fall related. Yeah. So I want to do a few falls before it's too late, and then I'll be doing a lot of Christmas. So don't worry. We'll be doing some Christmas stuff too. But we got to start making that fall stuff because it's coming up super quick. Actually, it's the unofficial start of fall is always Labor Day, and always don't think it starts till for another. I think we've got another 2 weeks when it's still officially summer. It felt like summer today. Oh my goodness! I got to about 9. I know it got up to at least 89 today. That's nuts. But it's gonna feel a little cooler tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Barb. Thanks for watching tonight. And Crystal and Anne. It's a Crystal who says, I can tell you are feeling better. If you're talking to me, yes, I do. I am doing great. Okay, so I will see you guys all next week. I didn't get 12 weeks of On Halloween up this week. It'll happen real soon. I promise I'll get caught up. I'll still make sure I get all the all the Halloween ones done way before Halloween. But don't worry, I'll still get those 12 up. I need to stop calling it 12 weeks because sometimes I can't get it up one week because things get crazy with the new catalog. I got a little busier than I was expecting. But don't worry, I'll still get those up soon. And I'll have a blog hop, that one stamp at a time blog hop I'm a part of. That's Tuesday. So you can see projects. And those will be fall and Halloween projects too. So if you want to see that, come back to my blog, which is createwithchristy.com, and you can join the blog hop. And I'll have a video on my YouTube channel too with that. So see you guys later. Bye. Have a great week.